cows at one point in Mason City, and we're under 28 today, projected to continue to fall. So this we see as a great opportunity to potentially turn that around and do some great things for our community. But ultimately, we believe, it's very important to recognize the potential issues. They're significant. Those concerns are real and valid. I'm sure we'll hear more of them tonight. But we have over 2 years of construction on this project, or about 2 years on this project. And we strongly believe this community is strong enough. We've got the people and the talent and the partners to come together and address the potential issues that are out there and make sure that we can capitalize on all the huge benefits that could come from this. So we're excited about the project.
That is absolutely untrue. And let me just tell you what the numbers are. First of all, there are 3 different kinds of hog farms in my world. There's company owned, and my family has a lot of company owned farms. Most of our sow farms, we have turkeys in North and South Carolina, hogs in North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, Oklahoma, and Iowa. We have sows in all of them except for Iowa. Their second kind of farm is what we call a contract farm. And that's essentially where a farmer signs a contract to grow pigs that I own, and I pay him, he owns the barns, I pay him to raise the pigs, I provide the feed, he has no market risk, he's essentially guaranteed that he'll be profitable. He doesn't make any more money when markets are good, but he doesn't lose money when markets are bad. I take that risk. And the third type of hog farm is an independent producer. And this is really the strength of the state of Iowa, is this independent producers. Those independent producers and contract farmers as well have an option of who they grow for as a contract producer and who they sell to as an independent producer. The plant that we're proposing, first shift, will require 50,000 market hogs a week, 10,000 a shift, 5 days a week. If the plant gets double shifted, that number would double to 100,000 a week. That works out to be 2.5 million. You got vacation days and holidays, you got holidays, etc. I mean, the plant doesn't run every day of the week, obviously. But this is a veterinarian's math, okay? 2.5 million market hogs a year for one shift. 5 million if you double shift the plant. There's some pork producers in here that are going to laugh at the next thing I'm going to say, but I'm going to give you a very conservative number. If you don't market 20 market hogs per sow per year today in the United States, you can't stay in business because you're not very good. And Prestage Farms is very good, and we do better than this. But let's use a very low ball number. 125,000 sows worth of production would completely fill the first shift of this plant. Double it for 250 for the next one. Prestage has 700,000 finishing spaces in Iowa today. Another misconception is that we're new to Iowa. We've been in Iowa for 12 years. Over 50% of the market hogs required for the first shift are pigs that I currently own today. And instead of taking them to different packers, we would take them to our own plant. I already have the interest, and if I wanted to get ahead of myself, could get the commitments to procure the market hogs necessary to finish the first shift right now. And I've had a lot of interest about being able to provide the entire second shift right now.
I have a lot to talk about there at the end, so I am going to take this opportunity to ask a couple questions. And I think it's our job up here to examine all aspects of this, good, bad, and indifferent, whether that's an inconvenient truth to our opinion or speculation of the project, and try to base things not on conjecture but on fact. And something that I have been asked a lot about, and looking at the 1.4 million of the 2.2 million hogs that are needed, you own 65% of those currently. Obviously, the independent farmers that potentially would provide to your facility that are providing to others. The question I'm getting a lot from people that I want to pass along is the concern that while there are no plans for Prestage to build in Sarasota County, and you've made a very compelling case for that, is, just as a question as the development agreement has been negotiated, when we're looking at an additional roughly 8 million hogs between the Prestige facility and the Seaboard Triumph facility in Sioux City, that's an additional 8 to 9 million hogs processed in the state when 2 plants go online. That is the same number of hogs, the increase it took the previous 12 years in Iowa. So it's obviously a question people that are looking at this saying, well, where are they all going to come from for both facilities in that region? As the development agreement has been discussed, was it ever a term in there to consider that during the terms that the company would not build a confined animal feeding operation during those terms in Saratoga County or the Clear Lake watershed? I'm not suggesting that, I just didn't know if that was a term that was considered without consideration from the company, if that's something they'd be willing to commit to.
Councilman Kuhn, no, that has not been discussed. It was not discussed at any point during the process.
Just want to pass it along, thank you.
My first presentation, or my first bit of information, is in regards to the water system improvements that we've been looking at and putting together some estimates on. The past several weeks I've been working with Stanley Consultants on this project to prepare a report on different options that we can put together through the city to meet the demands of the processing plant. And one of the first things that we addressed is a water supply. Mason City currently has 9 wells sunk into the Jordan Aquifer, and this project would require us to at least look at adding 1 well in the short term and additional in the long term. So one of the first things we did was contacted and had conversations with the DNR through the state of Iowa, and their word back to us after doing some modeling of the aquifer and looking at Mason City and our well system and some other wells that are within the system nearby is very favorable. They have given us their word that they will allow us to permit for additional wells. There's some information that comes along with that, and that is we have a group of wells right around the plant that were put in starting back in the early 1900s. So there's a pretty tight group, which when you're running 4 or 5 of those wells at one time, it does experience some drawdown and some effects when it comes to that. So one of the things that we're looking at and we're putting in our report is as we develop additional wells out in the aquifer based on their modeling, that we take a look at retiring some of those wells that are closer to the plant and have been active for 100 or so years. So that is one of the things we'll look at, and that is one of the things I'll consider when they're permitting for us. So everything with the DNR is very favorable when it comes to this project.
Anna agrees to begin construction on his new homes later this year as we finish our extension of 19th Street Southeast. That is expected to be completed late spring, and they'll be able to begin to build those houses. We also have other developments that we are working for. I met with another developer today that he's making plans relative to his development and the potential for more homes within his development. Our current multiple listing service for Mason City has 158 homes for sale in the range of 30,000 to 200,000 currently. The initial new hires that may be moving to the community should find a good selection for a home from that listing. The City of Mason City also has a healthy rental home market with over 4,303 rental units currently in Mason City. The development of additional apartment units and homes is being strongly considered by many developers and contractors within the community. I've been in contact with the State Building and Trades Council about our project in anticipation of the need for further development within our community. The addition of Prestage Foods to our community will provide contractors the demand to build single-family and multi-family homes, or living units. Mason City has many vacant homes within our community that could be considered for renovation by contractors. According to the American Community Survey, we have currently 538 vacant homes within Mason City. The development of market for renovation and sale of these homes is a key component in the progress of our community. The renovation of these homes will prevent the need for the city to someday, possibly, demolish the home because of its condition. Those that are not renovated for sale may also be renovated for rental housing purposes, also creating an improvement in our neighborhoods and community. The City of Mason City has some programs that can assist in this development. The city currently has a tax abatement program available to home buyers or renovators. Tax abatement is available to assist the renovation of existing buildings if they increase the assessed value by 10% for the building of new homes. A rebate of 100% for 5 years on the first $75,000 in value is available to single and two-family residential properties. If the property is multi-family residential and increases the value by 15%, the property is eligible for rebate of 100% for 3 years or a 10-year decreasing scale abatement.